Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're here to talk about the COVID-19 situation as they pertain to robots and drones, and how Parker Lord Microstrain has been dealing with the issues and some of the things that have come up since way back in March when this all began for us. So what we're going to cover here is ways that we've been dealing with the situation and our customers and how they've been dealing with the situation. We're going to talk a little bit about our technology and how it enables robots and navigation for some of these new things that have come up over the past few months. And we're going to talk about how our products operate really well in situations that these robots and vehicles are deployed into. We'll touch a little bit on what the future holds and what our predictions are for the future. So my name is Justin Bessette. I manage the technology team here at Parker Lord Microstrain. I've been part of the team here for 20 years, developing electronics in the areas of sensing and inertial navigation. I have with me my colleague Dave Fager, who I'll let tell you a little about himself here.
Hi, thanks, Justin. This is Dave Fager. Been with Parker Lord Microstrain for 5 years. And been interacting with different robotics companies for UGVs and applications over the past 3 to 5 years. And in my past life, I was a mechanical and test engineer.
All right, thanks, Dave. We'd invite you all to join the conversation, using the hashtag Sensing Webinar, and follow us at Lord Corporation for more information, or if you'd like to participate in this event.
So COVID-19 and our technology and some of the things that everyone's having to experience during this time, everybody's distancing themselves, and say you're going to a grocery store to pick up something or takeout, and how do we lots of different changes, and you can foresee put yourselves in the shoes of kind of how robots may start to help with that, and some technology that our products add value to some of those systems. And so you get to experience that problem real time, and some of the things that I've seen from my personal experience just in that area of just having people, drive up and drop stuff off, and more contactless exchange of different goods and in the environment. And Justin, you've probably seen similar things in your experience, and what kind of things have you seen?
Absolutely. Your day-to-day activities where you're going to pick up goods and merchandise. I can't help but think, boy, wouldn't it be a lot easier if a little buggy were to bring that out to me? It seems like any ways that we can reduce and the contact, from people for this particular situation is important, but it also kind of lends itself to, in the future, well, maybe some of these tasks that are not exactly that we can do with a robot, or do automated in an automated fashion, maybe that would give us time to do other things instead of rely on people or exchange in that manner.
Right. Yeah, and it's interesting because it's been a really opportune time for robotics, roboticists, and robotics kind of companies to really have people experience their value and kind of value proposition in real time. And this, so that unique opportunity is presenting itself to kind of, I think, showcase the capability of these systems, and will allow them to become more easily accepted in the future, because a lot of people have had or see the value of these systems now. Yeah, so at this time, I'd like to ask our audience to, we're going to launch a poll about kind of what things you've experienced or what changes you're seeing at this time. And so feel free to engage that as we continue, and we can kind of talk through some of the results of that later in the discussion.
This pandemic has caused us to maybe look at the situation and look at the technology that has been building, maybe look at it in an accelerated fashion. You know, the idea of delivering a pizza to your house may seem like a ridiculous notion just 2 years ago. We're seeing actual product being delivered by drones. Now, most of these are in test phases, but what we're seeing is the advancement in technology much more rapidly now that there is a compelling need. I read an article the other day that said we're looking at pushing 10 years of robotics and electronics technology into 18 months to 2 years, just based on need and desire for these new technologies and capabilities.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, I can echo that, Justin, as far as, even though a lot of these technologies or platforms have maybe existed, I think the new normal is going to continue to see that expansion of those kind of systems. The new normal and adapting to different kind of challenges or tasks. So the application of the robotic systems is where a lot of the work is happening. And that's where it's exciting to see what's happening out on the front lines. You see things like kind of social distance kind of awareness robots out in public spaces, or reminding people to adhere to certain guidelines, or you see things about robots being deployed for UV kind of light disinfecting. So accepting these things in these environments is becoming kind of more tangible for a lot of people.
All right. Well, why are we here? Well, we're here to talk about inertial navigation systems, inertial measurement systems for robotics, and things that have proliferated during the COVID-19 pandemic. And we here at Parker Lord Microstrain have been developing inertial navigation systems for over 20 years. And we were already purveyors and been selling into these markets, and we are well positioned to deliver these technologies that are complementary to what many roboticists and new ventures are out developing.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think some of the value that we're kind of helping, as far as quickly developing these type of platforms or adapting in these applications is, flexibility in our family of kind of inertial sensors to, cost and performance, and then feature set to be able to, on one common kind of communication protocol, and then have, an open API and ROS tools for even easier kind of deployment. All those things help adapt these systems more quickly in times like these. To help kind of develop things more quickly, we're seeing customers kind of adapt for different applications more quickly, using those features by introducing systems like UV light cleaning or autonomous floor cleaning solutions, which can help free up kind of cleaning workers to focus on more detailed tasks for disinfecting. So all these things kind of lead to other applications.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. So we here have been following and part of the drone and robot and automated ground vehicle delivery game for some time, and we're actually starting to see some of those applications show up in Bloomberg and New York Times articles. Just the other day, I read an article about an aircraft company that was a drone aircraft that was delivering medicines and meals. And part of their ad, they show a child receiving a candy bar, and I thought that was kind of fun and cute. But also part of their marketing was the delivery of medicines and the delivery of PPE. That is very real and has traditionally been very difficult in rural areas and underserved areas where there is little transportation or maybe far and few between transportation opportunities?
Well, all these kind of systems may not be totally new. The applications and deployment is kind of what's unique here, and shows that ability of these systems to adapt and be used for multiple functions. Right now, it's really focused on cleanliness and health and sanitation, or delivery of critical supplies. But you can imagine these being used for more previously pre-pandemic kind of activities as well, to reduce costs or be more efficient as well.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. You read articles about how you're in a crowded situation and one person could be sick, and that could spread to 10 or 100 people very quickly. Can't help but think how it would be nice if there was some sort of technology out there to let that person, let the people know, and let that person know, hey, you might not be well, maybe you should stay away from people. Doing that as a complementary thing to people's own actions, I think can be helpful and something we could see in the future.
We can take all these applications and value and see a larger effect on the robotics market, and people are realizing these systems are moving from a novelty kind of cool thing to watch on YouTube or whatnot to a more tangible value add for society. So I've seen some recent articles from Business Wire earlier this month on our market size of robotics growing from doubling in size over the next 5 years. So these are all indicators of people validating that these systems will continue to be a part of increased use over and then in the coming years, months, and nearer future.
All right, it's time for a second poll question. We're very curious to how many of you are currently using ROS as a part of your development process or in your deployment system. So ROS, what is ROS, or who is ROS? I can assure you it's not that guy from Friends. ROS stands for Robot Operating System. ROS has an extreme impact on the development of prototypes and minimum products, especially during this time where things are being developed very rapidly. ROS has become the standard for robot development. And the reason that I feel this is happening is because it's an open source and a collaborative ecosystem that allows people to integrate multiple vendors' products into one system. Not only that, but people are able to leverage what others are doing. I don't have to develop my own SLAM algorithm. I don't have to develop my own navigation algorithm. I can use those in combination with some vendor's product, like an INS as we're talking here, and create a solution based on other people's work that maybe serves the needs and of a new business venture or of society in general. I can do that very quickly.
Right, and it's key to have kind of validated or official ROS drivers, as ROS is a open platform, but as it's becoming more important to have kind of official drivers, which we've launched earlier this year for our products, so they can be trusted and more fully utilized for a wide variety of applications. Yeah,
so as people are developing prototypes, not only does ROS give you the pre-baked code or give you the pre-baked algorithms because it's open source, but it also allows people to be collaborative. I can work with people that are across the country. I can work with my development group, which is all remote, and I can quickly bring those ideas that we have into actual reality. We talked about the operating system, right? Before operating systems existed, people didn't have the concept of apps. They had to build the whole system soup to nuts. And now customers are able to take that base level and build on it instead of needing to start at the beginning and move forward. We didn't see the proliferation of smartphones until there was a smartphone operating system like Android or Apple's iOS. We didn't see the proliferation of PCs until there was a PC operating system like Windows or a Mac operating system.
Yeah, it's really the catalyst for allowing these developers and for the applications to be developed instead of the systems to be vetted and designed. It lets the work really be focused on kind of the end use and the application versus just producing a system that functions or moves or follows a certain path.
So how are we helping our customers? What do we bring to their platforms? We're not a drone developer. We're not developing ground vehicles. What we do develop is inertial systems, inertial navigation systems, inertial measurement units. Our customers are looking for us to provide things like position, velocity, and attitude information into their vehicles. They need an accurate estimation of position. They need an accurate estimation of where is this vehicle going at what speed. That is the type of information that a vehicle chassis just cannot convey without an inertial system on board. One of the things that we really pride ourselves with at Parker Lord Microstrain is testing. We test all of our products in real world environments. Most people will come to us and say, well, I can buy a chip part from Mauser for $6 that gives me accelerometer information and gyro information. That is all I need. Well, I challenge you to use that $6 part in real world applications where the temperature can vary from -40 to 85 degrees C, or where there's vibrations. Go put that on a piece of digging equipment and see how well that works. Well, that's what we do. We take the products and we build them and we test them in actual applications. It's some of the most enjoyable time we have is actually going out and renting an excavator or going out on a vehicle and driving in circles or up mountains to actually test these things in actual applications. There's always a lot of hands up when we say, well, it's time to go fly the drone. Who wants to do it? We have a lot of people fighting over those controls to go out and fly that drone and actually give us real world data for validation and verification of our systems.
And I can echo that. As far as the exciting part is to see what some of the our customers do with our products, because they know they can trust them in these challenging environments. We've seen exciting things from customers that are in the DARPA Subterranean Challenge. Half the teams are in some way or the other using our sensors as part of some of the platforms, whether they're ground vehicles or drones, to execute in some of the most challenging GNSS kind of denied environments and some of the most leading kind of research applications for kind of moving robotics ahead. And so those are certainly the exciting things to see and how our products get used, and the effort we're putting in on testing and upfront is what allows customers to have that trust in our products as they deploy them. So how do our options are going to help you? What we really focus on is having a kind of a platform or family of sensors with different feature sets, different performance levels, to allow customers to adapt quickly to say, hey, I needed more features or less, I needed more performance or less, all on that common interface with the ROS tools. With that platform in mind, with the testing we do gives you kind of that ability to commit, but in a design phase, but then pivot, as you would say, scale up your operation or look for more performance or look for cost down. So these are all critical things that a customer typically is going through in this process of developing a new platform for different applications. What an exciting time kind of to be a part of, in the robotics industry. It's what, it's certainly a part that excites me. I love to engage the different customers in these areas and to see how we're going to be able to utilize these type of systems in the future. There's no doubt that there's growth anticipated as well. I saw an article from a Frost and Sullivan report from the robotics kind of delivery and systems market is projecting to go from 14 billion in 2019 to almost double that in 2025 to around 28 billion. So there's significant growth anticipated, and it's just an exciting time to be engaged with customers and work through their problems.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. So I'd also like to add, as from a technology point of view, we're seeing progress in this area as well. As the demand increases, we focus harder on these specific applications, and we're able to hone our pencil and get in there and get our customers more of the information they desire at a higher level of precision. So we are continuously developing our technologies, and over the next decade, we expect to continue doing that. So we look forward to the future of more robots running around on our streets and hopefully bringing us fantastic goods, maybe even see some of those in the skies. And we really embrace this future, and we have before this pandemic, and we actually see this pandemic as kind of a catalyst for those types of projects and programs to maybe come to fruition in a quicker timeline. So nothing really excites a developer more than actually seeing their products in use. And we've been pontificating and talking about how amazing the future is going to be with all these robotics and delivery drone markets. And it's very interesting. We're starting to see our customers have real forward-facing ads and media out there and go, wow, we're actually on these platforms and we're actually seeing those things happen, and in kind of vindicating our thought process over the past few years. And we're really excited by that. And we're really excited for you to contact us and work with our engineering team on your solution. We do have support engineers and development engineers that do a really good job of helping our customers develop the best solution or make sure our products work at their optimal level. So I look forward to for you reaching out to myself, Justin, or even reaching out to Dave if you have an immediate need for a product.
Yeah, so the exciting thing is, please reach out if you're looking for a solution right away. We've got product readily available in standard format, but we certainly work with customers to kind of tweak that and tune that, and we have a lot of tools to help customers, support them in kind of custom applications. And so now I'd like to lead into a question and answer session, and thank you again for your time today.